What's good, y'all? Thanks for tuning back into Air Trafficking. Today I'm bringing you not one, but 2 weeks of my weekly sneaker rotation in one episode. I know I've been gone for most of last week, and that's because I did have a death in the family, so I had to kind of regroup and get back to it. But I'm back, and instead of skipping last week altogether, we're going to pack all 14 kicks into one episode. So as always, go ahead and hit the like button, and let's go ahead and get into it. So for Monday, I pulled out the Dover Street Market Jordan 1s. Such an underrated shoe. That's kind of what I like about it. I know when these things were first releasing, it was selling for like $400, $500. And as with many things, as the hype died down, I was able to snag them up for not much over retail. And I'm definitely grateful for that because it is a lot of nice features in this shoe, and it's not a bad colorway as well. On Tuesday, I threw on the Jordan 10 Venom, which is another underrated shoe, but in my opinion, it is a nice colorway, and when you can find things to rock with it, it definitely is bound to turn heads. I initially passed on the release, but ended up wanting the sneaker much later on down the road. And since, of course, a lot of 10s really don't get that much hype behind them, I was able to pick them up for retail. On Wednesday, I threw on the Jordan 4 alternate 89s, a sneaker that I was really looking forward to picking up from when I first saw images last year. The quality on the sneaker is top notch. I was able to cop under retail from one of my Europe sites. Of course, now that we got those Jordan 11 low cherries out, not sure how much I'm going to be rocking these now. For Thursday, I threw in the Jordan 1 Letterman, another sneaker you can cop under retail right now. For some reason this year, people aren't really drawn to the Jordan 1. I guess they're all waiting for the band ones or the bread ones to drop this year, whichever one it is, if not both. But in my opinion, I thought it was a dope colorway. It's easy to rock, and it has a pretty cool story behind it. For Friday, I threw in the LeBron 12 Court Vision, which is another deceiving sneaker because you think it's just a regular black and infrared sneaker, which I was fine with. I like the colorway, and the LeBron 12 is extra comfortable. But once I got it in hand, I realized that the actual posit material on the upper has a 3M effect that is basically similar to a basketball court when light hits it and it actually reflects. But nevertheless, it's still a dope sneaker, and it's very affordable, and especially now that we're on to a newer LeBron model. For Saturday, I threw on the Jordan 13 Birmingham Baron, also known as the Hologram 13s. And honestly, this is another sneaker that I passed up and then decided to go back and grab. When I first saw images of this sneaker, it kind of put me in the mind of the He Got Game Jordan 13s. Of course, there are some noticeable differences, but I just like the fact that I could kind of interchange the two sneakers, if that makes any sense. Definitely glad I was able to go back and secure them, as I do love the Jordan 13 silhouette, and this sneaker definitely will be in my collection from here on out. So for Sunday, as I said, I had to make an emergency trip back home for the funeral. So I wanted something comfortable as I was going to be in the airports on a standby ticket. So I threw in the Jordan 12 The Master. As I said before, I'm really surprised about the hype and the attention that this particular sneaker got. I think more people were excited and looking forward to cop the Master 12s than they were the Flu Games or even the French Blues, and that's just crazy to me. But that's not taking anything away from the shoe. It's still a dope colorway. Of course, you can't go wrong with a Jordan 12 model, and again, as I said, it's just very comfortable. Alright guys, so getting into week 20 for Monday, I did have to attend the funeral earlier that day, but afterwards I chose to throw on the Jordan 5 Black Supreme, which again, after having all three colorways, I'm still leaning towards this pair and being my favorite out of the pack. But of course, you know I'm biased because it's in two of my favorite colors, black and red. I will say I did expect better materials to be on the shoe, but hey, what are you gonna do? For Tuesday, I threw on the Jordan 10 Black OVO. If you've seen my pickup video, then of course you know I was able to secure 2 pairs of these. So I figured there's no need to be shy when wearing them. I think this is a dope shoe. Some compared it to the NYC 10s. But in putting the two head to head, I still feel like the Jordan 10 OVO is the better sneaker. Definitely clean in my opinion, and the materials on the upper you just can't go wrong with. On Wednesday, I was still kicking it in the 757. Me and the family ended up getting together, got some crabs, some wings from Wingstop, and pretty much just kicked it, enjoying each other as I hadn't been back in town in a while. So I decided to throw on the Solar Red Yeezy Foamposite Pro just because I needed a durable sneaker that wasn't really going to get messed up, especially with being around those kind of foods and younger kids that step all over your sneakers. You definitely want to be wearing something that's going to be easier to clean. Thursday was my last day in Virginia. Had to fly back to Georgia, so I basically ended it the way I started it. I threw on another Jordan 12, and you know I had to go with the Flu Games. Some of you guys may notice that you've seen them in the last 2 or 3 episodes of my weekly sneaker rotation, and that's just really how much I like them. I wanted these things for so many years, but I didn't want to spend the $400 to $500, specifically with the older models being in that nubuck, which gets very ashy with time. Also, as I mentioned in my pickup video, a lot of the older models around the outsole would get really ashy, and I just didn't like that look. So I'm telling you now, I'm definitely gonna be rocking the hell out of these, and I got a backup pair as well. So for Friday, as you all know, we had a Foamposite 1 release. I ended up picking that up. So with me being in the Foamposite mood, I decided to throw on the Air Foamposite 1 in that olive suede. As I've probably said before, this was my first suede Foamposite pickup ever, and I'm really liking the way that these are holding up. I haven't really gotten any scuffs or anything like that on the sneaker, and with one of the top reasons for me actually liking Foamposites being its durability, that's a good thing. I really like the way these sneakers turned out, especially with that gum sole, and I think they look great on feet. For Saturday, I pulled out a kick that's probably top 3 for me in my collection, which is the Jordan 5 Toro from the Raging Bull pack. And when it comes to this sneaker, there's really nothing I can't say about it. It's in my favorite color on one of my favorite Jordan silhouettes, and the sneaker just pops. When these originally released, I was graduating college, so I didn't have the money to just drop on whatever kicks that I wanted at the time. But fortunate enough, I was able to cop these from Sole Supremacy. I'm really hoping to see a re-retro of this particular sneaker here in the near future, as these are from 2009. But until then, I'm rocking with these. Sunday's kick of choice by default was the Air Foamposite 1 in that hologram colorway. And I say by default because I ended up losing track of time and running late for work, so I just grabbed the first thing that I could see. I knew we had the potential for rain, so I wanted something that was going to be able to withstand that. As for the shoe itself, I think these are really dope, especially when bright light hits that upper and those prism light colors start to shine. Alright guys, well that wraps up this double header, week number 19 and 20 of my weekly sneaker rotation. Hope you all enjoyed. Please be sure to hit that like button and share the video if you're able to do so. Hit the subscribe button while you're at it. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at the name you see on the screen at this time. And keep it locked to Air Trafficking for more weekly sneaker rotations just like this one. Until next time, I'm taking off.